Hi everyone. So in the series of multivariable optimization, the topic today is concave and convex functions. Let z is equal to f of xy be a function with continuous partial derivatives of first and second order defined over an open convex set S in plane. Then f is concave if it is negative semi-definite. See, these all are so closely related. Negative semi-definiteness relates to concavity. Positive semi-definiteness means convexity, and when you have just negative and positive definiteness, that is strict concavity and strict convexity. Okay, all the conditions are just the same, but they add something extra. However, I rarely believe in this, but I was following Sitzeder and Hammond, so they say that C should also be less than equal to 0, so be it. So this is A in the Hessian matrix which I derived. Hessian was fxx, fxy, fyx, fyy. Okay, this is A, this is B, and this is C. So concavity requires the determinant of H be positive, greater than equal to 0, and A should be less than equal to 0, such that this is negative semi-definite. Additionally, it also says that C should be also less than equal to 0. So that's about concavity. And then in convexity, you have positive semi-definiteness, that is all are positive, that is determinant positive greater than equal to 0, and A and C are also greater than equal to 0. So if all of these inequalities become strict, then you have strictly concave and strictly convex. Now there's a theorem related to what we just studied in concavity and convexity, that is if your function is as it is, that f of xy is a function, and then you identify a point x naught y naught which is stationary and is in interior of S. So on the domain, if there is an interior point which is stationary, then concavity would mean that that point is a point of global maximum, and convexity would mean that that point is a point of global minimum. So I've written over here, if for all x, y belonging to x, remember global minimum and global maximum means entire domain. So if for all x, y belonging to x, you have some stationary point x naught, y naught on the interior of S, then x naught, y naught will be a point of global maximum if f is concave. Likewise, this for all x, y belonging to the domain, then if f is convex, you shall have x naught, y naught as a point of global minimum. So let's do two quick questions. Number 1, decide for which values of the constant A the following function is concave, convex, or neither. So I need to find out constraints on the parameter A such that the function is concave, convex, or neither. So let's check. What will I do? I need to make my Hessian. Hessian again is fxx, fxy, fyx, fyy. So I have done all of these over here, fxx, fxy, fyy, and then I found out the Hessian's determinant, that is AC minus B square. So fxx is A, fyy is C, so you multiply AC minus B square, B is f of xy, so you will have this. Now for concavity, what is required is that your Hessian's determinant should be greater than equal to 0, but A should be less than equal to 0, and we already have A as less than equal to 0. So for concavity, what do I need to prove next? That this determinant is positive. The determinant can be further simplified to this form, 4 into 6 minus a plus 2 ka whole squared. Then determinant being positive means that this inside term is positive. The inside term is positive, that means 6 is greater than equal to a plus 2 whole square, or a plus 2 whole squared is less than equal to 6. And then if I take a square root, that will be plus minus 6. For the minus, inequality will be reversed. So I have written it over here. Minus root 6 less than equal to a plus 2 less than equal to root 6. So for f to be concave, my determinant of h should be greater than equal to 0 and a should be less than equal to 0, which is possible when a belongs to this particular domain. That is minus 2 minus root 6 to minus 2 plus root 6. So when a is between this, you have a concave function. Now for convexity, what is required is that determinant should continue to be positive. See, Hessian's determinant should always be positive to establish concavity or convexity. If it is negative, you have indefiniteness. Okay, that is neither concave nor convex. Now, for convexity, what additionally do you require? You require A to be positive. Remember, positive, semi-definite. But my A is negative over here. That means F cannot be convex. So, second part is done, first is done, third is neither convex nor concave. That means your determinant to be negative. If Hessian's determinant is negative, you have neither convex nor concave, and that is this particular constraint, that is A plus 2 greater than equal to 6 or A plus 2 less than equal to minus 6. Next question. Show that Cobb-Douglas production function y is equal to a q to the power a l to the power b defined for all k and l greater than 0, that is all capital and labor input being positive, is concave if a is greater than 0, small a greater than equal to 0, small b greater than equal to 0, and a plus b is less than equal to 1, and is strictly concave if this inequality is strict. So a positive, b positive, and a plus b less than 1. So again, what do? I look for my Hessian. For Hessian, I need to find out fkk, that is my a in effect, that is your a, and fkl, that is your b, and fll, that is your c. Okay. Now, you can easily do the differentiation part. I'm not bothering about it. Once you have all of these, then you find out the determinant of h. Determinant of h will look like this. And then by further solving the determinant of h, ultimately you will have this form. A square into ab into k to the power 2a minus 2 into l to the power 2b minus 2 into 1 minus a plus b. Now, see, a square is going to be positive always, irrespective of the value of a. It doesn't really matter, you know. But a into b is going to determine the sign. Likewise, k and l are positive, and if a and b are any powers, positive or negative, this is going to work out to be something positive. Now comes out 1 minus a plus b. So this part and this part are going to be deterministic in determining the sign of determinant of h. Now for concavity, since I need to prove that my production function is concave, I need to prove that this determinant of Hessian is greater than equal to 0. So for proving that, I need to prove that a into b is positive and this is also positive. That is, a into b should be greater than equal to 0. That will give you a greater than equal to 0, b greater than equal to 0. Likewise, 1 minus a plus b greater than equal to 0 would mean a plus b less than equal to 1. So, likewise, one of the conditions have been found out. Second condition for concavity is that your a should be less than equal to 0. For a to be less than equal to 0, what I need is this. fxx to be less than equal to 0 is f of kk. Now a is positive. This is going to be positive. Then this is also going to be positive. That means if I have to prove that this is negative, I need to take into consideration that let this be positive such that if this is negative, then this entire term will become negative. Okay, so for this f of kk, that is fkk to be negative, I want a minus 1 to be less than equal to 0. Okay, see, a is positive is carried forward from this condition. Capital A is positive, which I am saying, I am imposing that this should be positive. Otherwise, if it is negative, then negative times negative will become positive, right? So I need to establish that. So for that, I'll put a minus 1 less than equal to 0. That is, a less than equal to 1. Likewise, you also need to prove that f of LL is also less than equal to 0. That is your C. So for C also less than equal to 0, you will arrive at B less than equal to 1. So combining all of these conditions, you have 0 less than equal to a less than equal to 1, 0 less than equal to b less than equal to 1, and a plus b is less than equal to 1. So this is proved hence from the question. And second thing with the question said was, for strict concavity you need to prove a is greater than 0, b is greater than 0, and a plus b less than 1, which we know all of these inequalities become strict. Okay, so that is also proven. Next question, you given this cost function, and this cost function is for two goods x and y, and both of these goods are positive since quantity cannot be negative. So we need to find out the quantity xy which minimizes this cost function. Okay, so I need to find out that quantity which will minimize this cost function. So again, I'll work out, step 1 is to find out the stationary points, that is the point where this optimality could occur. So Cx will be 2x upon 100 minus 10 equals to 0. So first order condition. This will give you x is equal to 500. Then you differentiate your cost function with respect to second argument, that is y, Cy. Put it equal to 0 and you will get y equals to 30. So x 500 and y 30 is your stationary point. Because we're dealing with function of two variables, your stationary point happens to be in a format of coordinates x and y. Now for establishing minima, we can prove that at this stationary point, your cost function is actually convex. Because if it is convex, we know that by theorem that if your function is convex and you have in the interior of that function a stationary point, and at that stationary point, if that function continues to be convex, you have a point of global minimum. So for establishing global minimum, for establishing convexity, I need to prove that determinant of Hessian is positive and a is positive, that is Cxx, that is a, should be positive. So a will work out to be 2 upon 100, that is 1 upon 50, which indeed is positive. Then you have Cxy and Cyy. So accordingly you can put it into the determinant of Hessian, and this determinant of Hessian will work out to be this, that's y upon 2500. Now for this determinant of Hessian to be positive, it depends upon the sign of y, and it's given in the question that the quantity is positive. So this determinant of Hessian will also be positive, and I also have my Cxx, Cyy to be positive. So when all of these conditions are proven, I have positive semi-definiteness. That means I have convexity. That means I have established a global minimum. So that was about this question, and thank you for watching the video.